Alright, we're here at King of Summer Finals 2021. This is King of the Hill number 301. Bowling right now is the number 26, Bobby Kammer. Bobby has 3 King of the Hill titles to his credit over the years. 14 years of King of the Hill for Sean's tournaments. Today we are bowling on the 28-foot Great Drought on the left lane and the 52-foot Flood on the right lane. Tradition every year for the King of Summer Finals.
You know what? I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Alright, Bobby's opponent tonight is the 12-time King of the Hill champion, Gary Clark Sr. Gary qualified 7th today with a 5.58. The scores are pretty low today. As you can see there, 52-foot Flood on that right lane. We had 44 bowlers tonight. The top 27 made match play with 4.58, which also meant the top 5 got byes in the first round with 5.67 or higher. Top qualifier was Keith Gakle with 5.91. Normally take the top 31, but we've installed new lanes here at Inman's in Valparaiso, Indiana. They're not quite done with the construction, as you can see down there. They are still working on the first 8 lanes or so. So we had to modify the format just a little bit and take the top 27 today. Top 16 cash tonight. First and second's paying $300 and $200. Now the champion tonight does have a chance to bowl against me, the king, for an extra $100 bonus, should they choose to. The finals gimmick used to be the winner has a chance to cut my hair, but last year, Terrell Peterson, TP, beat the king, cut the hair, but he was egged on by Pound Cake Nation, Bill Crane, to go higher on the cut than what he should have. So between him and everybody else, they're chanting higher, 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 and of course, TP cut my hair above the line there, and it's still not grown out this year. So we're doing the $100 bonus instead of the haircut this year. Plus, the Queen was not very happy last year about it. Especially you, Bill Crane. You're lucky you're in a boot this year and you're not out here. I would have loved to have my rematch from 2 years ago against you, when you beat me with my broken finger the year I had to bowl left-handed. Still shot 300 that season. Only took me 7 months to shoot 300. How about you, Mr. Crane? Pound Cake Nation. All right, enough of that. Back to Bobby Kammer here on the 52-foot Great Flood. That's going to be trouble if it never hooks. One of my favorite nights here is the King of Summer Finals, just for that very reason. Seeing the 52-foot Flood. Bowlers got to try to figure out what they're going to do on each lane. Ryan Burks, the great Ryan Burks, knew my strategy back about 3-4 years ago when I beat him in the TV finals and the championship bonus match, haircut match. I threw my plastic ball straight down the middle with the Flood, and I hooked the dry. Shot about 230, 240 on him. You can look that up on Sean'sTournaments.com. Final scores and all the stats are there. Video is probably floating around on youtube.com/bowlingtournaments. So Gary Clark, spare to start. Back to the 52-foot flood. It's the nice trip. I tell you what, the pin carry has been phenomenal with these new lanes. For the new lanes, approaches, new pin decks, these pins are bouncing off those pin decks. The carry has definitely gone up here at Inman's. Like I said, Gary has 12 King of the Hill titles. He's only chasing the leader, John Verbich, by 1. John has 13. Gary has 12. Gary's tied with Eugene McCune, PBA champion and recent PBA 50 champion. Eugene McCune has the most King of the Hill titles here in Sean's tournaments, King of the Hill. Last week, John Riffle moved up to 11, so he's only 2 behind the leader, John Verbich. We'll see if Gary can tie the leader today, but he won't if Bobby keeps striking like that. Bobby's now on a double. Bobby opened the first 2 frames, came back with a double here. Doubles are hard to come by on this dual pattern. Many scores tonight, and as you can see in qualifying, there was not a 600. It was 591. Game pot tonight. Game 1, John Riffle 230, Billy Robinson 219. Game 2 is Tyler Trombetta 214, Andrew English 214. They tied. Last game we had Jesus. Yes, Jesus actually bowled a King of the Hill tournament here. I've had everybody bowl. I've had people come from Canada, all across different states, come bowl my King of the Hill between Dyer and here. And now Jesus has actually bowled us. So we'll call it Jesus. So Jesus and Scott Schmall, 212 and 211, won game 3. It's always fun when 2 teams are winning game pots. Good thing that he was on the dry lane. That ball did hook enough to pick up his 4-pin. So right now Gary's got about a 24-pin lead. He can definitely add to it. He's working on a double here. Gary won the King of the Hill Summer Finals back in, I believe, 2016. Gary did elect not to bowl me for my hair that year. Much appreciated, because everybody likes my hair, especially the ponytail. So maybe Gary liked the ponytail too and didn't want to have to cut it off. Anyways, Gary's working on 3 in a row right now. 6 frame. Using plastic on the dry lane. 4 in a row. As Rob Stone calls it, a ham bone. Sorry, I won't ever use that term ever again. Alright, Bobby's in the 5th. Yeah, not going to come back on the flood. Bobby was the number 20 seed. He qualified with 508. Bobby is a 3-time King of the Hill champion. We've had 301 King of the Hills, 139 different King of the Hill champions over the years. I believe the top 15 has 5 or 6 titles, so not easy to A, win a King of the Hill, and B, repeat. Let alone get as many titles as, well, really both of these guys, especially Gary. Gary had 1 title when we were in Dyer. He's won all the other ones here. He just started bowling the ones at Dyer, I believe, the last year or 2. But he's been bowling about 7 years here now. Hard to believe we got to Valpo in 2014, and it's 2021 right now. Oh, Gary's just lined up. Legendary status right there. He may not think it, but we all do.
Yeah, now I know where. Wow. All you could have said was, I live by the fairgrounds on Division 1. That would have been fine. But we took the whole route.
Gary was telling me earlier, it didn't matter once you get the match play, you can beat anybody in 1-game matches, which is so true. You beat anybody in a match, you get 6 in a row, especially on these 2 patterns. The high game of the day was probably around 2:30. Didn't really see much after that, even in match play. I don't know, I'm getting kind of a little afraid here if Gary wants to bowl me. Now Bobby can strike out for 223, but Gary's on pace for 279. Crazy, 279. That might be the highest in all the King of Summer Finals history, if he finishes it out. Well, that should do it. Gary Clark is going to move into first place all-time, tied with John Burbidge with 13 titles. Real quick path to the final, sponsored by BoveAllBowling.com. Gary Clark beat Eric Locker in the first round. Austin Horton in the round of 16. Austin is actually one of the installers that is in town from AMF Cubica, installing our brand new AMF SPL Select lanes. We thank Austin and the whole crew at AMF the last couple weeks installing these beautiful new lanes here at Inman's. We now have a new bowling center. It didn't matter. Chopped it anyways. And Gary in the round of 8 beat Billy Robinson. Hi, Billy. Final 4. Gary took out young up-and-coming high school graduate Alex Griggs, who's headed to Lourdes University in Ohio. And that was his path. Real quick, Bobby Kammer's path to beat Vinny Trombetta first round. The legend, last week's winner, John Riffle in the round of 8. Marissa Carey, the collegiate star, Team USA. And Bobby also beat Keith Gakle, the #1 seed. That was the path to the finals for both gentlemen today. So Bobby finishes out at 167. Gary's just throwing it down there. He doesn't care. He's won with 224. So there is the final. 224, 167, King of Summer Finals. We'll be back in a little bit to see the match, if it does happen, between the King and the GOAT.